and the forms of Nandi. 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 The term Nandi literally means the happy or the joyous or the satisfied one. The term Nandi mainly articulates in connotation with two associates of Shiva, that is the bull Vrishabha and the Gana Nandigeshwara. The terms Vrishabha and its variants are used to designate the bull ever since the Vedic literature, and the term Nandi used as an epithet of the bull. On the other hand, the term Nandi is simultaneously employed to refer Nandigeshwara, the Gana of Shiva, since the epic literature. In addition to this, the predominant part of the Puranic literature addresses Nandi as the Gana of Shiva and Vrishabha as the mount of Shiva. On the basis of these facts, the present paper analyzes the presence of Nandi in the sculptural art with special focus on the Kerala art. Vrishabha and Nandi in Vedic and post-Vedic literature. Vedas generally designates Vrishabha, and Vrisha as the bull. In two times, Rigveda mentions Rudra himself as the Vrishabha or the bull, and Atharvaveda considers the term Nandi as a joyous bull. Taittiriya Aranyaka describes Nandi as the bull form of Shiva. In Manusmriti, the Nandi describes as the Vrishabha describes as the symbol of Dharma. Vrishabha and Nandi in epic literature. Mahabharata gives a story of how the bull Nandi became, how the bull became the Vahana of Shiva. The text says that Prajapati gifted a bull and a few Kabila cows to Shiva, and the joyous Lord made the bull as his Vahana as well as his manner. The story again mentions when Shiva explains about the Vrishabha to Parvati. In addition to this, the Vrisha banner of Kripacharya remains the great Vrisha of Shankara. On the other hand, the term Nandi mentioned in Lokapala Sabhakhyana Parva, Shanti Parva, and Anushasana Parva of Mahabharata as a god of Shiva. Ramayana states generally Vrishabha as the bull, and on Nandi, Ramayana says that Kishkinda Kanda and Yuddha Kanda of Ramayana state that Nandi is a monkey Gana of Shiva who cursed Ravana that he would be killed by the monkeys. The Puranas generally describes Nandi, Nandisha or Nandigesha is one of the favorite associates of Lord Shiva. The Puranas including Padma Purana, Skanda Purana, Vamana, Varaha Purana, Brahma Vaivarta Purana, Agni Purana, Kurma Purana, Bhagavata Purana, and Linga Purana describes Nandi as the Gana or associate of Shiva. None of them mention the Nandi as the bull. The bull is called as Vrishabha or Vrisha. Vrisha and Nandi appearing together in some of the scenes in these Puranas. On the basis of these facts, Gaurishwar Bhattacharya put forward a hypothesis that Nandi and Vrishabha are two separate entities and their amalgamation is quite recent. Nandi, the Gana in Purana literature. Linga Purana gives the detailed description of the birth story, coronation, and marriage of Nandi. And the text says that sage Shilada performed a penance for 1,000 years to get a son, and Shiva, pleased with his devotion, and incarnated himself as the son of Shilada. The son was called as Nandigesha, and when he reached the age of 7, Mitra and Varuna paid a visit to the hermitage of Shilada and said, Nandi will die within an year. Then Nandi started to chant Mrityunjaya mantra in agony, and Shiva appeared before him again and granted immortality by giving a garland. Furthermore, Shiva told Parvati to consider Nandi as one of her sons. Shiva also coronated Nandi as the head of Gana in the presence of billions of Ganas. And finally, Shiva arranged the marriage of Nandi with Suyasa, the daughter of Mary. The responsibilities assigned to Nandi, the son of Shilada or Adhikara Nandi. Nandi, the son of Shilada, assisted Shiva in several occasions, and the Purana state that he is more than an attendant to Shiva. In Puranas, Nandi presented as a devotee of Shiva, an incarnation of Shiva, a filial son of Parvati, a Gana or head of Ganas, a friend of Shiva or loved one of Shiva, a doorkeeper or attendant of Shiva or Parvati, escort or travel guard of Parvati, a warrior or commander of armies of Shiva, charioteer of Shiva, protector of the chariot of Shiva, author or narrator of the story of Shiva, and as a punisher. The Puranas describes Nandi had the authority to taking care of all the devotees and visitors of Shiva. The iconic representation of Adhikara Nandi in South Indian temple symbolizes the authority or Adhikara of Nandi. Vrishabha or the bull of Shiva described in the Purana literature. The bull of Shiva generally called as Vrishabha or Vrisha in Puranas. But in 3 occasions, the Vrishabha of Shiva called as Nandi. One is from Matsya Purana and remaining 2 is from Shiva Mahapurana. In Matsya Purana, Shiva says that this sacred bull named Nandi, who is my principal attendant. The Sati Kanda of Shiva Mahapurana says that says the term Nandi twice. First is Sati mentioned Sati mounted on the Vrishabha, namely Nandi, and when for the sacrifice of Daksha, and the second is at the gate of Daksha, Sati got down from her bull. In certain occasions, Nandi can be found along with Vrishabha in Purana literature. In Shiva Mahapurana, the section describing the marriage procession of Shiva says, Shiva commands Nandi to accompany him in the marriage procession. Besides other Ganas, Nandi joined the procession with hundreds of Ganas, while Shiva riding on the bull, who interpreted as the Dharma by Vedas, Shastras, and sages. In Linga Purana, the section describing the marriage of Nandi says that after the marriage of Nandi, Shiva mounted on his bull with Shilada and all his kinsmen. Linga Purana again mentions Nandi and the Linga Purana again mentioned the Nandi on Nandi in an incident of Kumbhodaran that while the Tripuras troubling the world, the Devas went to Kailasa and started to complaining about their misery. By hearing the whining of Devas, a Gana, namely Kumbhodara, started to beat the gods with his danda. Meanwhile, at the camp of Shiva, Nandi arrived as mounted over the bull, Vrishabha, and Kumbhodara went with him. In conclusion, the Nandi and Vrishabha in literature is available in 3 contexts. The first one is Shiva and bull are closely associated. The early literature states that Shiva himself was a bull, and the terms Vrishabha and Nandi are associated with bull. And the second one, Nandi and Vrishabha are 2 separate entities. The 2 great Indian epics and 9 Puranas indicates Vrishabha is the bull and Nandi is the Gana of Shiva. The third one is scope of a conceptual amalgamation of the concept of Vrishabha and Nandi. See how these concepts presented in the sculptures. Presentation of bull, the Vahana in sculpture. The Vahana of Shiva is presented as either zoomorphic or zoanthropomorphic in sculptural art. The zoomorphic images may be presented as along with Shiva, the bull presented along with Shiva as Vrishabharuda or Vrishabhahana, or the bull figure facing to the idol of Shiva within, and the bull figure may present within or without a mandapa. The bull in the mandapa appears in zoomorphic form, and it may appear in many sculptural variations as multi-headed, crouching or standing. The presentation of zoomorphic Vahana in Kerala. In Kerala, the bull of Shiva only presented as zoomorphic. Vrishabha, the bull may presented as accompanying the rider, and the riders may be Shiva, Uma Maheshwara, or Uma. In the solo depiction of the Vrishabha, it can be seen as concerted in front of the shrine of crouching posture. Concerted in front of the shrine as in crouching posture. Presentation of zoanthropomorphic Vahana in art. There is not much reference for the bull of Shiva presented in hybrid form. Yet the sculptures of human bull hybrid is rarely occur from different parts of the continent. These are some images of images shows Shiva over the zoanthropomorphic Vahana. The first one is from Java, and second one from is South India, and the third sculpture is from Thiruvalliswaram in Tirunelveli district of Tamil Nadu. It shows the Kartikeya trying to climb on the zoanthropomorphic Nandi. But there is no such images found from Kerala. Presentation of Nandikeshara or Adhikar Nandi in the art may be in anthropomorphic forms, the human monkey hybrid and the human bull hybrid. The first image in the slide is the anthropomorphic Nandi with his consort. And the second image is monkey human hybrid from Tamil Nadu, and third image is human bull hybrid from Khajuraho. Iconography of the anthropomorphic form. Anushasana Parva of Mahabharata mentions in front of Mahadeva, Nandi standing with his Shula and looking like a second Shankara. Agni Purana states that the Nandi should carry a rosary in one hand and trident in the other. Linga Purana states that Linga Purana gives a detailed description of the iconography of Nandi. In this Purana, in the section of birth story of Nandi, Shiva says that he is going to lose his divine form and taking the human form by incarnating as Nandi. The baby Nandi had locks of Jada, 3 eyes, diamond-like body, and 4 arms carrying trident, battle axe, vajra, and danda. His ornaments are kundalas of gem, which creates a sound of thundering cloud. The second occasion in Linga Purana is Nandi came to call back Kumbhodaran. In this scene, Nandi appeared as mounted on Vrishabha and wearing locks of Jada. His hand carried trident, club, dhoja of bull bayonet or Vrishabha dhoja and vajra. His ornaments are garlands, haras, kundalas, and kadisutras, and Nandi remains himself as a second Shankara. In the same session, the gods praising Nandi as the one who with canines like diamonds and the one who with red body and red eyes and red attires. Iconography of the human monkey hybrid Nandikeshara. Ramayana describes the Nandi as a bald-headed dwarf Gana of Shiva. Shivarchana Chandrika of Ayyappa Dikshita of 16th century gives detailed iconography of this form is that Nandi should adorn a crescent moon on the Jada and carry antelope in one of the upper hands, a shaft on his shoulder, and sword at his hip level. He should smear with vibhuti in his body and wear rudraksha ornaments as adornation, and who has a monkey face. This image shows, this image is from Hill Palace Museum. It is a Kerala style image which shows the iconic features which described in the Shivarchana Chandrika. The sculptures of monkey face in Nandi is very popularized in Kerala, yet it is quite rare in the other portions of India. The human monkey hybrid Nandikeshwara in Kerala. The monkey face Nandi can be found as single image and as a character in the narrative sculptures of Kerala. The images are presented with 2 or 4 hands and has its own regional elements. The principal attributes are shown in these images are Danda, Trishula, sword, and Damaru. And the images of Nandi may present with the mudras like Anjali Mudra, Abhay Mudra, and Bharata Mudra. Human monkey hybrid Nandikeshwara in Kerala art. Nandi also presented as a character in the narrative sculptures of Kerala, and the main narrative panels, which including the Nandi, is the Pradosha Nrtta of Shiva, Palari Madana, Parvati Parinayam, and Dakshayagam panels. This image here shows the monkey Nandikeshwara as the spectator of the dance of Shiva. Nandi as a character in the narrative sculptures of northern Kerala. The Palani Madanam sculptures, the first image shows the Palani Madanam sculptures. In this, the first image shows Shiva sending Nandi to the king of Asuras as a messenger. And the second image shows Nandi seeking assistance of the Asuras for churning the Milky Ocean. The next image is the Parvati Parinayam image is from the Parvati Parinayam sculptures of Kerala. The first image, in the first image, the Nandi presented as a Chatra bearer of Shiva, and the second image shows Nandi with the Uma Maheshwara, and Nandi as a favorite attendant of Shiva. The Nandi is presented several times in the Dakshayagam scenes of Kerala. The first image shows Daksha curses Shiva and Nandi cursing Daksha encounter. And the second image shows Shiva advises Sati to go along with Nandi for the Dakshayaga. And the third image shows Nandi attacks Daksha after the death of Sati. And the fourth image shows Nandi, Bhadragali, Veerabhadra attacks together and kill Daksha and his associates. The monkey, Nandi, and bull Vrishabha appearing together. The earliest appearance of Nandikeshwara along with the bull is from Portugal Rocker Cave. This belongs to 7th to 8th century. It is in Kollam district of Kerala. In this, the Nandi presented as the doorkeeper, and its iconographic features are quite similar to the description in the Ramayana. The Nandi is presented as bald-headed monkey face dwarf holding trident in his hand. In addition to this, the late medieval art of North Kerala also depicts Nandikesha and Vrishabha together. In the Parvati Parinayam, Dakshayagam, Iradarjuniyam, and Anandasayanam panels. The first image shows Mangi Nandi carries umbrella of Vrishabharuda Shiva. Here the Nandi and Mangi, the Nandikeshwara and Vrishabha shows separately. The second image is an Anandashayana panel. In this, the Shiva, Uma, the bull, and Nandigeshwara as the spectators of the Anandashayana scene. The third image is from a Dakshayagam panel, and it shows Uma climbing over the bull and going to the Dakshayagam. And the fourth image shows in the Kiradarjunian panel, while Shiva advising to Arjuna, Nandi folded his hands in Anjali Mudra. Iconography of the monkey face Nandi in the late medieval art of Kerala. The monkey face Nandi image of Kerala is adorned with a unique Karanda Maguda, monkey face with white beard or Vellatadi, Tilaga on the forehead, Griva and Haras on the neck, Prittakundala on ears, Bahuvalaya on the shoulders, Udarabanda on the stomach, multi-layered Kadisutra on the hip, and Padavalaya. And the garments of it is either short or full and decorated with sash, tassels, beads, and loops. These features of the Nandi remains a Hanuman in Kathakali, the classical art of Kerala. The reason behind this is in Kishkinda Kanda of Ramayana says that looking at Hanuman, Ravana thinks that whether the monkey in front of him is the Nandi who cursed him in the Mount Kailasa. And Kerala art may be influenced the story of Ramayana in making the Nandi images of Kerala. The human bull hybrid Nandigeshwara in the sculptural art of Kerala and India. Nandigeshwara, the attendant of Shiva, who also presented as a man with bull face. The first image in this slide is from a bull-faced god in Khajuraho, and the second image is from a bull-faced Nandigeshwara in Tamil Nadu, and the third image is the bull-faced Adhikara Nandi from Kerala, and the fourth image is Nandigeshwara as a musician in Kerala. It is from a Ratha. These kind of sculptures indicate the amalgamation of the Gana and Vahana concept, that is Nandi and the Vrishaba are the same. My conclusions are the term Nandi used in association with Shiva and bulls in the early literature, including the Vedas and Aranyaka. The epics and majority of the Puranas use the term Nandi to designate an attendant or Gana of Shiva. The bull of Shiva is called as Vrishaba. Vrisha literally means bull, and Vahana literally means wheel. Nandi, the Gana of Shiva, and Vrishaba, the bull of Shiva, appear together in few occasions of the Puranic literature. Shiva Mahapurana uses the term Nandi to address the bull of Shiva, and Matsya Purana describes Vrishaba and Nandi are the same. The literature describes the Nandi in two contexts. Nandi and Vrishaba are, the first one is the Nandi and Vrishaba are two separate entities, and the second one is Nandi and Vrishaba are the same or they are amalgamated. The sculptural evidence from Kerala from 7th to 8th century to late medieval period shows Nandi and Vrishaba separately as mentioned in the epics and Puranas. On the other hand, the god of Shiva, Adhikara Nandi, and other forms of Nandi depicted with bull face shows either the concept of single entity or the amalgamation of Nandigesha and Vrishaba. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kumbhodaran.